All right, so
talk about what we watched this weekend.
over the weekend, I saw Fury Road twice,
I saw it once.
and I went without him, so he had only seen it once.
It was a different experience because I actually just went by myself. And so
Oh,
it was a
really?
different experience, just kind of going without because a lot of times if I go with him, I'll talk to him kind of sometimes mentioning or I'll discuss it afterward. Where it was just me, my own thoughts, about it. So I want to hear what you think, and then I'll let you know what I think.
Okay. I thought it was amazing.
Okay.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought the stunts were just mind-blowing.
I agree with that.
I thought the story was so simple, but the movie itself is just not simplistically done at all. It's just a straight chase movie, and I loved Furiosa in it, played by Charlize Theron, and I mean Tom Hardy was a great Mad Max choice.
Like you said, he only had maybe 2
Yeah,
pages of
he has
dialogue.
maybe 2
At
pages
most.
throughout the whole script of dialogue. It's just very, you can tell that they storyboarded the hell out of this movie,
Right.
which I think just made all the, effects and the, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was brilliant. I mean, there's a ton going on, so a second viewing I think is definitely necessary.
Okay. So did you
to
get more out of
catch-
it the second time than the first time?
More out of it as far as the son of ants. More out of it as far as looking at different things throughout the stunts, because there's so much action
Okay,
going
yeah.
on. But I mean, just appreciated the story just as much the second time.
Okay.
It caught different things better, the climax of when Furiosa and Immortan Joe in the car with the mask thing.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of missed that in
You
the
missed
first.
it?
The first, I was watching it, but
Okay.
it was happened so fast. I was kind of wait, what?
That's true. It did happen very fast.
So I caught that better
Yeah.
the second time. I mean, just I thought it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I mean, we'll get your take, and then we'll kind of wrap up with this whole was there a feminist agenda? There's been some nonsense coming out after this movie, but it's so cool. I think it's one of the best action movies I've ever seen.
Okay, I agree with everything with the action. It was really, really good. It was really over the top, but it was very well done. As being over the top with a lot of the cars.
The stunts were over the top.
I think the whole. I mean, it was mostly with the guy with the guitar. Every time the guy with the guitar came on screen, everybody started laughing. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was over the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay?
it was well, maybe we should just have a guy on a guitar full
who's
of amps.
totally blind.
Yeah, he's totally blind.
He's just playing.
Who's shooting fire out of his guitar, and then to be why?
And
be
then on
like,
the
why
back-
not?
And on the back, there's the guy with
Then
the drums.
there's all the guys with the drums.
And it was kind of the way to amp everybody up. So I did a little more research on it. So I want to ask you: Did you think this was a sequel, a prequel, or a reboot? Because I know what the director said he thought of it.
Yeah.
What did you take away from it watching it? Having seen the other 3 and everything like that, did you think what would you think?
I mean, I guess I would just figure it as a sequel.
A sequel, okay.
Yeah.
So the director said, George Miller.
Yep.
Okay. George Miller said that it was a reimagining.
Okay.
So it wasn't necessarily a sequel. And then, I've seen the first one.
Okay.
And I've seen parts of the second one. I haven't seen the third one. So I know the story. But the thing that kind of it kind of pulled me out was that I felt like you kind of needed, it didn't really explain to me a lot of the backstory. I'm not sure if that was the main point of it, and the only backstory that I got from Max's character was through exposition of him kind of talking about how he used to be this police person, and he was a road warrior, and he went through here, and then you see the scenes, that he has with his daughter. I'm assuming it was his daughter, like that, and then he doesn't talk for the whole time.
Right.
I'm not sure if I didn't get that just because of
Sorry about that. There we go.
because I only
The
saw it
dog.
the one time, or if I saw it again, I would get more of it. it kind of pulled me out because I felt like I didn't know a lot of what was happening because of that. So the story kind of was a little off for me because I kept thinking, am I supposed to know these characters? Because I know none of the characters had anything to do with the ones before, but it's the same. I don't know. Like I felt like I wanted more backstory. I wanted more introduction to this character, and there wasn't any. So I was wondering, am I supposed to know what is happening?
That's why I took it as more of a sequel.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So, but he said it's like a reimagining. So not necessarily a sequel, more of a reboot, which is what I thought it was going to be. So that kind of pulled me out. With there no real story. It wasn't really about him. It was more about the land. You know, the whole what's going on in the world, which is, you know, one person controls the water, one person controls gas, one person controls the ammunition, bullets, weapons, that kind of stuff. The cinematography, that's what I was going for, was amazing. It was very well done. Everything about it. It's just that whole story with the main characters. And, I mean, Furiosa, it was more about her than anything else.
Oh yeah.
So with calling it, you know, Mad Max, it really wasn't a lot.
Well, I think there's like, I mean, it's still very much a Mad Max story, but it's very co-linear with Furiosa's story, and she almost takes precedent. Over Max.
So and so I felt like maybe I was missing out, or maybe I didn't know what was happening before because I hadn't seen something before. So I don't know. So that kind of pulled me out.
Okay.
I mean, the action was cool, and there was a lot of. I felt like there was a lot of like nods to like the 3D too, with things coming at the camera.
Oh
like,
yeah.
So I was like,
like one scene in particular, definitely.
So I was kind of like,
that would have been cool.
I don't know if I wanted to see it in 3D, and I don't think it was worth it. So that kind of, you know. So overall, it was good. It was a good action movie. The story was kind of lackluster for me. That's how I felt about it.
Okay.
I did like it though.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch. It was a fun movie to watch.
Yeah.
The story did not really keep me there, but the action did. So if that says anything to the movie itself.
I like how you get more of the story developed as the chase continues, because it's like over 3 days, you know. So there's really some moving, quiet scenes in between all of the chaos.
Because I
and
remember you
action
saying that before.
and stunts and
there wasn't a lot.
everything.
There wasn't a lot of slow parts when there were. That was the time to develop the story, and it did develop some parts of it. But I still felt like there wasn't much to it, you know. Like, or I felt like I should know what's going on, or I felt like it was more of a sequel, like you said, and I should know what's going on, but I didn't really get it. It kind of just threw you into it, and you were there, and then you kind of learned like, oh, this and that in the middle. Of it. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's such a different experience as far as a summer action movie. It's not all told just straightforward.
Right.
You know, or given to the audience. But I think a lot of it gets pieced together as it goes on, even though it starts and there's these epic, stunts and car crashes and stuff like that, and then it's like, oh wait, here, hold up, here we're getting some pieces to backfill, you know, like what we may or may not know about Max a little bit, or Furiosa, or
so maybe I felt like he focused more on these amazing action set pieces and these amazing landscapes and that kind of stuff.
For sure.
And a little bit less on the story, which I think
definitely the highlight.
Right.
You know.
So like I said, amazing action movie, not a great story, but hopefully when they make a few more, it'll maybe develop into something better.
Maybe. So there's a pretty massive debate going on surrounding Fury Road. A lot of, I don't even know that these like existed, you know, because there's a lot of like feminist groups and sure. You know, like women, you know, because women aren't treated the same as men, you know, in with equal pay, and you know, like we've been on, you know, about Hollywood and stuff like this, and apparently there's been this huge backlash from men's rights groups, which I'm like, what the hell is a men's rights group? Yeah, and I guess this started coming out just before it got released, so like from the Cannes premiere till Thursday when I saw it, and I was like, what? That just makes a feminist manifesto, like but whatever. Like George Miller didn't go in creating this movie to make a feminist point, but it did come across I mean, very much a kick-ass feminist movie.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Powerhouse
Her character.
performance with Furiosa, and the other girls in the movie.
Oh yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah,
They were
I mean,
fun
it was
to watch
it was
the whole time.
fantastic. And just that she was so powerful and cool, and
there's
just
lots of movies
just
like
as
that.
like kick-ass as Max.
There's lots of movies that are out that do that. So why are they?
Well,
we just
I don't
hearing
know.
about this movie
Are
now?
there? Are there a lot of movies that have done this?
Well, not enough,
It seems
but-
like really unique for this type of movie to also have like just a really cool like story that also involves strong women.
Right. Well, I think there's lots of strong women movies out there. I don't think there's enough, obviously, because
Right.
this was the problem.
Didn't even know that men's rights groups existed. So I mean, that's a bunch of bull. But it was interesting because George Miller had his wife Margaret Sixel
nice.
edit the film, and she was like, "I've never edited an action movie before. Like, why me? She's done documentaries and some comedies or something like that.
Yeah.
But George Miller wanted his wife to do it for that exact reason. She had never done an action movie, and he didn't want it like a typical guy would have edited the movie
I think,
and looked
yeah.
like any other action movie. So I think in his choice of having her edit the movie, also paid it. I mean, just a huge, the tone and the way that it came across as so feminist and exciting, really.
But that's the story, though. It's not like the editing made it. Because of the editing, it made it more feminist. I think the movie was about her and her character, and then her doing what she was doing with the females to get them out of there.
Yeah.
I think her
The story starts it, but I think the editing is like a huge piece of, like
Yeah.
it
Well, it has-
finalizes how everything
Well, yeah.
looks
Well,
and
editing has
the
a lot to do
tone
with
and
the tone of the film. So yeah. So no, I mean, but that's ridiculous.
it was just a really cool movie.
It was cool. I liked it.
And then he did announce, George Miller, that Mad Max: The Wasteland is a potential sequel title.
Yeah.
So
should
if
be
it
good.
does well enough,
I
mean, Tom Hardy's signed for like 3 movies or
Right.
something, for more. So
Be good.
yeah,
So good.
cool.